Hello, guys. Welcome back. I got back here. Now you're on the right track. I want to talk to you about it's okay to be human. One of the reasons I realized I shouldn't read blogs or articles is because, let's admit it, we all know I have a jealous streak a mile wide. I'm just like that. I grew up in a family that you guys know was very backwards and abusive, and with other members of the family, everything was a competition. It was like being on one of those last person standing shows to get anything. So I learned that is a natural way of being. So if I saw anyone else getting something, it was natural to have to compete with them. Now that's not a healthy way to raise children, by the way. Good structured competition in races and that is fun. Competition with family members to get the affection or time of another family member is not. So that was kind of insight I got because I couldn't figure out why the hell was this Odin blog depressing me, because the person's really progressive. They believe in LGBTQ rights, even though they're not. You know, they don't allow hate groups on their blog. I'm like, this sounds like a person I would get along with, so why am I not liking this? And I'm like, well, for one thing, I always think I have to do what everyone else does and do it better because that's the kind of family I grew up in. And since they wrote 4 books and I wrote absolutely zero, I felt bad. And they run on Etsy and I don't run one because my crafts look like they belong on the island of misfit toys, and we're going to leave it at that. And I realized I was comparing myself to this person. That's why I stopped enjoying the blog, because I don't do all these wonderful things. I don't live a perfect life with the gods. I sometimes hope that people don't watch this channel and think, oh, we're supposed to fight with them. No, you're actually supposed to get along. I'm just a bit dysfunctional. And also I serve Loki, and I serve Odin. I serve gods that kind of like a good scrap. I realize they do like to debate. Only with Odin, it goes from reasoned debate to shouting match at some point, every single time. Loki just starts antagonizing you, and with Freya, she can come by and be wonderful and warm and sweet and cuddly, or she can decide she's mad at me and she wants to chase Bastet away. Today they were spending time together and they were both looking at the kitties and we were all playing with the cats together. But tomorrow is going to be, you don't love me. She will get like out with Bastet, she will get like out with Aphrodite. But then I played a very dirty trick on her. Since Odin was after me to get the Freya book, I pointed out the point where she and Freya are described as love gods who are incapable of jealousy. Yeah, see this? And then all of a sudden Freya's like saying something to Freya's event, and she's like, you can worship any god or goddess you want. I love you. Because if Freya can get Freya #1 position, Freya's going to. That's why she's my girl. And Odin just wanted something. He said he knew he couldn't have it, but he wanted to try for it anyways, even if he broke me. I just looked at him. I said, you're disturbed. You know that. And he smiled at me. We're going to fight. The Lord was written hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, was Christianized. It has values very different than most of us have. And so we are going to sometimes come across a translation of a story or something on the wrong day. Or we're going to see the gods presented in a wrong way, and it's going to be fight time because we're already frustrated about something else. The fights Odin and I have always have nothing to do with what we're actually fighting about. Loki and I are pretty good. We stay on topic. We actually fight. That was actually one of our things we agreed about, because about 5 years ago our relationship was so bad, all we did was constantly fight from one end of the day to the other. We actually made a ground rule. The fight had to be about what we were actually angry about and not about a cover thing, because then nobody was getting helped. And Lucky's like, that's a good relationship when we had to make rules about fighting, but that's what we had to do because we agreed we were going to try. But we will be fighting from one end of the day to the other. And I can't tell you when it stopped, other than I learned to let stuff go and he learned to let stuff go. And even though neither one of us likes to negotiate or give way, we learned that if we wanted to stay together even a little bit, we had to. It was not in either of our natures to give up on something or not get our way, but we were like, we had to compromise. And we both have a flip side of our nature where we're very loving and kind and you can walk all over us. It's this dualistic nature that we both have, and we realize. You very rarely get that from Loki. And I'm not a special sparkle princess. I'm always surprised when it happens because it's usually not Loki's nature. But every so often he will let us do as we please and kind of walk all over him. And it's like when that happens, it's a part of his divine nature that he's like, okay, you get this one because I got that one the other day and you let me walk all over you. Um, if you want to make him laugh, tell him about free will. But at least Freya was being kind about it today. She was like, well, that's why you're upset. And I read this excerpt on Amazon of the book that Odin was after me, not Freya, Odin. But Odin messed up. Or he wanted to give me a way out that wouldn't look like Odin gave it to me, so it could be my own way out. Maybe this is what he's wanted all along. But it talked about Freya and Freyr being gods of love that aren't capable of being jealous of each other's relationships, or any other gods or goddesses. And I went to the lady and I'm like, look what the book on you says, and this is one of your priestesses. Da, 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 da. And she was flattered. She knew I was trying to flatter her and butter her up, and she knew what I was after. But, sometimes she's like women all the way. So she let me get my way. She's like, yes, you may go and do whatever you want. And look, he's back here like, that's the first time I've heard of this. What the hell? And I will sometimes go to the ladies. I'm like, well, if the men are going to play ball, I'll go to the ladies and I'll look really cute and adorable and try my luck. Sometimes I get shot down, but sometimes it works remarkably well. I think I heard, hey! I was going to Siegen last night because I was saying, I don't know why this all-Norse household is not working, other than as soon as Odin gets his way, it's like Norse gods just scatter to the wind and there's nobody here. I said, I like company. And I said, sometimes Loki's here, sometimes he's not. Sometimes Odin is here, sometimes he's not. Freya, I get the distinct feeling she loves me and she's going to give me blessings, but I'm also this gigantic human-shaped cat toy to her. And she's the cat, and she comes around, she plays with me. And she doesn't mean to be mean, but sometimes it comes out that way. Where Bastette's a lot more gentle and easygoing and silly and everything else. Because we were talking, Freya and I, back and forth about what we thought the major character flaws were of all the gods. And, like, I admit to mine. I'm jealous. I'm all these other things. I'm like, I know I have a ton of them. And I sometimes think they're charming character traits. And we got to Bastet, and I said, she's really usually too busy partying and having fun and doing everything else to really develop any bad character traits, because when you're off having a good time, there's really no time to stand around and think, well, this is this and this is that. I've never seen Bastet get jealous. She's usually really easygoing, and you remember, she was a war goddess first. She seems to know when to pick her battles. If she does fight with other gods or goddesses, she does so behind the scenes. She's not going to do it openly, where Freya has to come in and get Freya's way. I love Freya down to the ground, I really do, but she's really pushy and aggressive, as are all the Vanir, I've found out. One thing I hate working with the Norse gods is that they will just expect you to give them things and know it. They expect you to be psychic, and Loki's the worst one of all the gods I know. I'm supposed to be psychic and know he wanted this thing he never even told me about, but it was so obvious. I'm like, stop gaslighting me, dude. I had no idea what you wanted because you literally did not tell me. I cannot read your mind. Huh? So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I got a birthday card today, and it has like these kind of vague fruits on it that kind of look like the grapes I painted on the front door. That could be something else. But I kind of think it was Freya's way of saying, we do love you, we know we drive you nuts, and people have free will, but I'm sure Freya was putting the Freya Paw in there to say, we do love you, we know we drive you nuts, we know that it's hard for you because you do have a jealous streak a mile wide to see blogs and see people getting all these, I'm the same as everyone else. It can be frustrating to see people like writing 6 books and having an Etsy store and all this other fantastic stuff, and I can't be even guaranteed to write poetry over on Patreon. I'm not that kind of person, and ever so often it makes you feel bad about yourself, but you have to realize that if the gods aren't happy with the way you're doing your worship, they'll find a way to tell you. I've never had any God tell me they're unhappy because I didn't write a book, or I don't write them poetry, or I don't do intensive rune study. Odin had to admit I have zero gift for the runes. I have zero gift, guys, because that was bothering me about the blog too. We read the runes a totally different way. We feel they have totally different meanings. And it's just, I'm not gifted at that. And I think when you don't have certain aptitudes, Odin does kind of go wander. So it's been kind of more like Loki today. Freya's trying to push me out the door to go get burger. But we'll be going out in about 3 hours. So I told her, I said, no, it's hot and it's muggy. I said, I will kind of think about it, but I said, let's wait till tomorrow. And then we can really go nuts because it'll be my birthday. Fortunately, Kitty never came. Hopefully he comes tomorrow, but this is UPS and I don't want to play the game of, oh, we tried to bring your package, but you weren't there. So I think I'm actually, this sounds stupid, but I think I'm actually going to sleep downstairs tonight and be here all night. So even if they knock on that door at 2 a.m. in the morning, I will be here. Because this is UPS I'm dealing with, and you usually either get fantastic people or you get people that never even stopped and said they did. Or you get people that must have not even knocked because I'm always right here. And they say, oh, well, nobody was home. I'm like, where would I go? Seriously, dude, where would I go? So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.